Come on, let's go. Gotta live in the moment and reach for the golden sun. 'Cause life's what we make it. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
It's on, Andy! Andy, it's on! Come on, let's go, come on, mate, it's on!
Welcome, do you want to come and be the channel's mascot? You can sit there. Yeah, perfect. How long are you gonna stay there? You can behave yourself. High five. High five. Good girl. Welcome everybody to week 2 of training for the Valencia Marathon. Now, this week, or I should say the week that I've just done, because in reality it's now week 3, but this training series that I'm gonna embark on, I'm gonna talk sort of retrospectively about the week that I've just done. So I'm talking about week 2 of training, and it was kind of, at the start of it, I had a what have I done kind of moment. And as the week went on, I gradually kind of felt better and better and better. So I'll just wait till this chopper goes overhead. As you can move, by the way, you don't have to stay there. You're like the HMV dog. I did some S&C on Tuesday, which basically ruined me for a few days, because only a few days previously I'd said how much I realised that I need to start doing S&C, and the session that I did was quite intensive, and looking back it maybe not have been the best thing to do, but anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. So first and foremost, I want to try and increase each week, especially in the build phase in the first sort of 8 weeks, by sort of 5 kilometres or 3 miles each week. So this week the target was 70k, because last week we did 65. And I started off in week 2 with an easy trail. I went out with Daisy, I did a 6.6k run, 45 minutes, and it was 62 metres of elevation, and it was a really straightforward, nice and easy one.
But only when it's easy. I know you wanna love me, but only when it's easy. Only when it's easy. When it's easy. Only when it's easy. When it's easy.
I've got to be more like Daisy. She's only 1 foot high off the ground, and I bring her through this trail. First time doing this trail, so I didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, sorry about that, Daisy. You alright? You okay, Daisy? Good girl, high five. Valencia week 2. Let's go.
I didn't run again then till Wednesday, but Tuesday, excuse me, Tuesday I decided to do strength and conditioning. Now, I'm not very well versed in this. I don't really know what I'm doing. So I've got kettlebells. I don't like doing resistance stuff, if I'm being honest. I find it very, very, very boring. And I just feel like I need to feel an effect on my body, which is why I like to use weights and kettlebells, which I know is not a good idea, especially for someone that is basically an S&C virgin. So I went straight in hard, and I did a 25-minute class or a workout of I watched and kettlebelled along to a workout by a YouTube channel called Juice and Toya. And I didn't realise until I pressed play on the telly that this was quite an intense and advanced workout, but I thought, I'm stubborn, I'll just do it anyway. So I cracked on with it, and I didn't realise then until a few days later, actually, either I should have done it with like a 4 kilo kettlebell, or I should have just threw in the towel halfway Or maybe not done it at all. That's probably what I shouldn't have done, and done something slightly easier, but I didn't. I cracked on with it. I did it. It was 4 30-second exercises with no recovery. You finish the set of 4, and then you have a 30-second recovery, and then you repeat them. So it's essentially you've done it twice, and there's 4 sets of that. So that's basically 4 minutes on of hard kettlebell exercises that my body's not used to, times 4. So I did 16 hard minutes, and it doesn't sound a lot, and I only had an 8 kilo kettlebell, but it was enough to absolutely ruin me. The day after, I woke up and I knew I was in trouble, and bear in mind, DOMs don't normally get you until the 48 hours at the day after, so I thought, man, Thursday is going to be rough. So got through Tuesday, then it's Wednesday now, and I did another easy run with Daisy, and that was really hard.
Sorry, Daisy. Good girl. Good girl. I'm literally about 500 meters into today's run, and I'm in so much pain because of my S&C yesterday. Oh my god, the DOMs in my hamstrings and my core is ridiculous. So a nice little easy run with Daisy this morning to get loose and hope that I'm okay for track later on. Oh, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? What's the hurry, Days? There is no hurry this morning.
So I managed to get through the easy one, and then it's sort of Wednesday morning by now, and then I'm starting to do doubles on Wednesday, so I knew I've got track Wednesday night, and I knew I wanted to go because what I was planning to do was on Saturday I was planning to do the Long Eaton. Daisy? I was planning to do the Long Eaton parkrun, which is one of the fastest in the Midlands, if not the country. It's renowned for being a very, very fast parkrun, and as you guys probably know, I really want to try and work on my 5k time. I want to try and bring it down to 20 minutes. So I thought Long Eaton, it's going to be a great course to do. I'd had this in the diary with Beardy Rich because he lives up that way, that we were going to do the 5k together. We were both going to have a brilliant morning of 5k'ing, and then it was going to be a brilliant Saturday, but it didn't work out that way. I said to him, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this on Saturday. But anyway, we'll get to Saturday when we get to it. Anyway, where were we? Track. The whole reason I did track was because I was going to do a hard 5k on Saturday. But I went to track anyway, and I thought it would be a better idea to follow the half marathon set than the 10k set, because technically the paces are slower. But I didn't really take into consideration that the set would just be the same amount of effort, and it was just as hard.
Note to my future self, when it comes to choosing between the 10k and the half marathon set, don't think the half marathon set is the easy one, because it wasn't. If anything, it was harder.
So the session for track was 800 meters zone 4, 600 meters zone 4, 800 meters zone 4 with 60-second recoveries, and then a 400 meter easy, and then you repeat that 3 times, so 3 sets. And I was just thinking, yeah, that sounds easy, zone 4, sort of 10k pace around the track, that would be really nice and easy. Sorry, zone 4, so that's sort of like getting into half marathon pace, and it was not easy at all. So I really found it really quite tough. But my lap splits were as follows. I managed to get round reasonably well. I did my first 800 in 3:31, which is a 4:16 pace, 600 in 4:17 pace, which was a 2:41, and then the next 800 was 4:14, so getting slightly quicker. Then the second set I did an 800 at 4:16 pace, 3:38. The next 600 was 2:38, 4:13 pace. Second set, last 800, 3:34, 4:09 pace, so getting slightly quicker. And then the final set, I did the first 800 in 3:35, 4:19 pace, 600 at 4:25 a kilometre, so a bit slower, that was 2:44, and the last 800 was 4:17 per kilometre, which was 3:32. Now, I'm actually quite pleased with that because by now it's sort of like 36 hours almost after I'd done the hard workout, and my DOMs were DOMing hard by now. I'm starting to really get through those. The second and third set of this track session was really hard. The hardest that I've found track so far. It was so massively ironic because I thought I'm going to give myself a break and do the easier sets. Just because you're doing a half marathon set over a 10k set does not make it easier at all. So lesson learned for track next time I go. Then I had a rest day on Thursday. I think that's right, yeah, because yes, I did. I'm having Tuesdays and Thursdays as rest days. And then Friday, even though I did strength and conditioning on Tuesday, I just didn't have time to squeeze it in on Monday, so I did it Tuesday, naughty. Friday, I did an easy 10k. Now my notes on my Strava are: hamstrings obliterated from kettlebells, no sub 20 attempt tomorrow. Man, my body is weak AF. So by now I'm realising I can't do this sub 20 attempt at Long Eaton. That one, by the way, was just, like I say, an easy 10k, lowish heart rate, 100 metres of elevation. So still getting the hills in, still getting the resistance, but I couldn't run any faster than easy. So I left it as an easy run, which seemed to suit me down to the ground. Daisy, don't worry about it. Daisy. Gone? No. So Saturday came, and instead of doing Long Eaton parkrun, I still went up to Nottingham to meet Rich, but instead of doing Long Eaton, we did another one which he thinks is equally as good, called Woollerton Hall.
So Rich said, still come up to Notts, but let's try Woollerton Hall. And I didn't realise, but this is kind of steeped in Hollywood history, isn't it? It is. Tell us a little bit about Woollerton Hall.
Well, the hall was none other than Wayne Manor from The Dark Knight.
Just quickly, by the way, can you tell us, have you got any races planned? What's coming up on the Beardy Rich Evans calendar of races?
After flirting with a few, but sort of maintaining the integrity of my wallet, I will be doing Worcester City Runs 10k.
Well, hey.
Then there's the Robin Hood Marathon, half marathon here.
Yeah.
Which is a couple of weeks after that, and the week after that's Cardiff.
Awesome.
So a few coming up.
Let's get to the start of parkrun. I'm probably going to try and do. Hamstrings are feeling a lot better, to be honest. God, I can hardly talk. This hill's
Yeah.
killed me. So I think what I'll probably try and do is steady, and then try and maybe do a kilometre of marathon pace or two. See how we go. So around about 24.5 minutes for me, I think.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Where are we going? Right, have a good one, mate.
You too.
Lap 1, 4:53. A little bit hot. Right, I'm just going to settle down to 5 minutes. I don't know if you can carry on if you like, but. Kilometre 4:52. Slow down, Andy, slow down. Kilometre 3 round the lake, 5:02. Kilometre 4, 4:42. Couple of spiky hills, isn't there? Oh. Okay, 400 to go. Do we stay controlled or do we finish strong? I know what I should do, but you know what I'm going to do. We're done.
So I got home, I did a steady top up because I know that I want to hit 70k. I did the maths, I know that if I don't do a little run now, I'm going to have a monster run, you know, Sunday long run. So I did a few extra miles on Saturday evening and that went really, really well.
So back from parkrun, and it's just a steady sort of 8k, 5 miles. It's glorious. And I was only just going to chill on the sofa and do nothing. So it's a top up run today because that turns tomorrow's long run from a 31k down to a 23k. So much less effort needed tomorrow on the long run because I'm aiming for a weekly volume, and I knew that I just needed to compensate slightly, let's just say that. So second run, and I feel really good considering I didn't do a fast 20k, 5k sub 20 attempt today. I think this has all worked out for the best because maybe that I did early this week, kettlebell workout, is giving me a bit more strength. At the very least, it's just woken up my glutes and my hamstrings, and this is the best I've run on hills, I think, since Nottingham in March. So yeah, feeling really good, to be honest. I've had a really good 5 mile 8k run just now, and like I say, I only would have been doing nothing, sit at home, so might as well go out for a run for an hour and then we can crash hard on that sofa and recover and go again tomorrow for the long run.
And then it got to the Sunday long run. Well, Beardy Rich was back seeing family, so he joined me for the Sunday long run. And I said the words at the start that would chill him to the bone every time. I've planned us a route. And the route that I planned, I knew it was going to be hilly. I knew I wanted to get a half marathon in, but everywhere, like I've said before, everywhere around here where we've just moved to is just so super hilly. But we got the half marathon done and it was hard. It was really, really quite tough. There were in total 330 meters of elevation, which again might not sound a lot compared to a lot of people that do fell running, but it was undulating with some real stinkers of some hills, including a really quite steep downhill. At one point we were doing what felt like world record 100-meter pace, but we weren't. But we were going so steeply downhill after climbing a hill called Cruise Hill that we really hit that downhill hard, because we both decided that it's better to just get down it than just put the brakes on and run slowly down the hill, because that was just affecting our quads even more. So we just hammered that downhill, but we both got round really well, and that was an average pace of 5:39. So we did that in 2 hours basically. 2:02. I did 21.7k. And yeah, that was a really good run as well. So massively enjoyed the Sunday long run, and by now on the Sunday I feel like the lactic acid had completely left my legs, and decided obviously not to do another strength and conditioning last week. So it was just the one that I'd done on Tuesday, and I think that was probably a good shout for my body that just cannot handle the S&C intensity yet. So that's something to work on for me this week, and a lesson learned: don't go too hard too soon with your S&C, especially if your body cannot handle it. I think just from a stupid male bravado point of view, I thought, well, what's the point doing S&C if I'm not going to be doing it full throttle? It was a stupid idea because I can't handle it, and I must have looked so stupid at track. I must have looked like I was really, really, really struggling, because I was. But I managed to get through it. And highlights of the week were probably Woolerton Hall parkrun with Rich. Was really, really good fun. And also the Sunday long run with Rich was just awesome. Now things are about to get a little bit more spicy again, because week 3, I've got a 5k attempt of my Chasing 20 down at Bushy Parkrun for their 1000th ever parkrun, which should be a really good event. The week after next, so week 4, I've got the Great North Run. And usually I'm towards the end of a training block cycle doing these big races, but now I'm at the start, so I don't think I've really done a big race like this, having been at the start of a training block cycle. And it's also another thing I wanted to mention. I'm finding it really quite hard doing summer into autumn training. I've done this a couple of times, and I much prefer winter into spring. I don't know why. It's like a motivation thing. It's like, right, Christmas and New Year's out the way, now we can just hit it hard and work towards it getting a little bit warmer, and you start to get a bit excited about the warmer temperatures and the leaves coming back on the trees. But now it's like, oh, it's so hot and humid all the time. All I've got to look forward to are cold, dark mornings, and it's just easier to just be negative about it, I think, when you're going summer into autumn. So I'm trying my hardest to just think about it run by run, and just get on with it, because that's what I know I've got to do. I've just got to get on with it, stop whinging, stop moaning, and just get on with it. Training is hard. Training for a marathon, training for anything is hard, no matter what time of year. So I've just got to remember the focus for me is Valencia, 320, 320, 320. That's what I keep telling myself. And I'm not going to get there unless I put the hard work in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that's the end of week 2. 14 more weeks of training coming your way. And so far, so good. Learned a couple of lessons from last week's training. And but yeah, I'm just looking forward to just keeping up the long runs on the Saturday and the Sunday, especially the Sundays. The hard 5Ks will hopefully really help me as well as those track sessions. So those 3 things are probably going to be a constant for the first half, definitely, of this training block. And then as we shift on for the last, especially towards peak, I'll be looking at more marathon pace and the longer long runs as well, as the peak volume creeps in. So cross that bridge when we get to it. But until then, I'll just carrying on. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're taking it easy wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.
It's on, Andy! Andy, it's on! Come on,